ugly, skinny, fat, too tall, too short. These are things we constantly think about. But why? Well, society has put these words into our minds, and we are told how we are supposed to be instead of being able to choose who we want to be. I was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. And let me tell you, when I came to the US, I was not like anyone else. I started first grade in an all-English, all-white school, where kids had a lot of money. I had none of that. I'm tan, brown hair and eyes. I barely spoke the language. My mom works as a nanny, and my dad's a cook. So I never had any of those fancy clothes or the newest, trendiest things. None of it mattered, but it made me feel like I couldn't fit in. In fourth grade, I was a victim of bullying. I was named, called, and judged constantly. But you know who my biggest bully was? Myself. I was sad and angry for not looking like the girls at my school. I was stressed, angry, sad. I didn't know what to do. Until this year when I learned what self-love is, and I put me as my priority. Think of it like this. When you spend time with someone you know, you start to get to know them, you learn new things about them, and you grow love for them. That's exactly what happens with us. When we spend time with ourselves and for ourselves, we start to learn new things about us, we start to understand ourselves, and we grow this love for ourselves. That's what's important. I started understanding what self-love is, and I understood it. There are 3 elements of self-compassion. Number 1, kindness to self. Number 2, common sense to humanity. And number 3, mindfulness. Let me start with kindness to self. When you are kind to yourself, you not only are kind, but you gain confidence and courage. Being kind to yourself is super important, and here's a tip. Treat yourself like you would treat your best friend. You're not going to go up to your best friend and say, "Wow, you look really ugly today," or point out all the bad things about them, right? So why do we do it to ourselves? Number 2, common sense to humanity. Common sense to humanity is understanding that you are not alone. Understanding that you're not the only one going through this, feeling these things, or even thinking of these thoughts. This is important. Number 3, which is the most important, being mindful. When you are mindful, not only can you clear all that noise going in through your head, but you are able to understand and listen. Because remember that you are not your thoughts, and you can control them. When you're mindful of your thoughts, you are able to pick and choose which emotions you want to interact with and which emotions you want to kindly set aside. I had self-love, and because of this, I'm standing here talking to all of you about my experiences and my knowledge to help you guys succeed. Self-love is super important, and when we learn self-love, not only are we going to be able to feel good about ourselves, but we're going to be able to share the love. Because the amount of love that you have for yourself limits how much love you can share out to the world. I had self-love. I believed in myself, I had confidence, and I made this come true. I am Evelyn Lozano, and I believe in you, but most importantly, you believe in you. Thank you.